What's up, everyone? Panda Party here tonight. Today we're going to be going over what I like to call a double-edged sword of collecting, where when the prices of cards or collectibles, any of that junk like that, go up, the individual items or collective items in your collection, whether they be, individual graded cards, you've got your individual just bulk, any sealed booster boxes, anything like that, they go up in price. So on the one hand, your collective net worth, quote unquote, has gone up, but on the other hand, the items that you might still want to acquire for your collection or investment purposes have also gone up in tangent. And depending on what you've been collecting versus what you've been meaning to collect, that gap might be for your benefit, where the stuff that you own got up a lot more compared to what you still want to buy, or it might be to your detriment, where the opposite happens, and all the shit you already own is super cheap, and the shit that you want to buy has gone through the roof. So, to give you an example, the price differential between something like a Shonen Jump prize card Cyberstein and, say, a random LOB holo like Mystical Elf. So, Mystical Elf has, doubled or tripled since January, to the point where, actually, yeah, it's probably more than triple at this point. Jesus. They're selling for around $400 in January. You might be able to get one on the cheap side for around $350. Most people would kill their own mother for that stuff at that price at this point, when they're selling for, well over $1,000. So, that is a tremendous amount of growth. But on the flip side, you've got something like Cyberstein, also in a 10, that was selling for about $3,000 in, the end of December range, with all those auctions that came up on Probstein. And those, Shonen Jump Cyberstein PSA 10 copies, they've gone up to over $15,000 at this point. So, yeah, your Mystical Elf, tripled in value, but what was once, a $2,700 gap has turned into, we're going to say, like a $14,000 gap, or maybe more at this point. So, depending on what you've been collecting, that might really make you happy to see your stuff go up in value, or might really piss you off a lot that all the shit you still want to buy is just kind of out of reach. So, for me, as how I've been funding my own hobby, I've been buying up collections, I've been buying up extra cards, and I flip them, or sit on them until they go up to a point where I'm happy with the rate of return I'm getting on them. Then I sell them, or I just hoard them like Smog and I don't sell shit. But I generally make enough money, and I have an incorporated business. Please don't get on with not paying my taxes and all that crap. I take the extra money that I make on the stuff that I don't want to keep, and I use that to buy the stuff I do want to keep. So, as this whole collection investing boom has been going on in the last few months, especially in cardboard in particular, people's income, as their job, their day-to-day 9-to-5 job, or whatever your financial position may be, those levels of income haven't been, doubling, tripling, quadrupling, going up 10 times as high as the prices have been on the collection that you're buying. So you might, if you're lucky, be getting a 10% raise, but the shit you want to buy is gone up 10 times. So that 10% raise isn't going to come close to being able to pay off the stuff that you still want to acquire for personal collection. That sucks a lot. And if you're the type of collector who's only been picking up individual pieces of your collection pie, we'll call it, and getting by bit, buying yourself a card as a treat every month or something like that, that's perfectly fine. That's what I did when I started out. But as a result, if you haven't been acquiring extra copies of things to either trade or sell, you're in the position now where, your day-to-day normal monthly or weekly salary is probably, unfortunately, not going to be able to supplement your collection buying goals or needs or wants or whatever you want to put it. So, like I said, on the one hand, if you're happy with looking at your shiny pieces of cardboard and knowing that they've gone up in price, and down the road you want to sell your collection, you're going to make a pile load more money than what you paid for it. This type of collecting boom is good for you. On the other hand, if you're the type of person who just likes collecting for the sake of collecting and buys individual collection piece out of your spare money that you have as disposable income, you probably aren't very happy with the state of affairs in, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and to a lesser extent at the moment, Magic collecting has gone, because all these things that you want, especially if you've been growing up with this stuff since you were a kid and has nostalgic, sentimental value, are probably going to be unobtainable for you at this point. So, like, everyone as a kid who grew up with base Pokemon, like their Charizards, even the unlimited ones are gone for the most part out of reach. So, that sucks. Like, if you were a kid, love Pokemon, and you love Charizard, and when you remember, being in the parking lot of your toy store or Toys R Us, wherever you were buying your Pokemon packs, and pulling a Charizard, that feeling that it made you giddy inside and so happy to pull that fire-breathing dragon, and now you can't afford to buy a copy, that sucks. Same thing with Yu-Gi-Oh! Whether your favorite monster was Exodia or Dark Magician or Blue Eyes, Red Eyes, whatever, the fact that you might not be able to own the original printings in particular, because there's still reprints, luckily, with Yu-Gi-Oh! That's a whole other topic and conversation for another day. It sucks not to be able to have the things you grew up with a kid, and that's the unfortunate part about this hobby, that as we get further into this, hype fest collecting debacle that's going on in the last few months in particular, that's going to be the casualty of this. And I think the prices, while a lot of people are going to be happy that they're going up because what they own is worth more money, it's really going to push a lot of collectors out of the hobby, and unfortunately is going to make a lot of people get very angry or feel disappointed that things that they could have bought, even a few months ago now are suddenly unattainable. So just wanted to go over that today. Like I said, it's good on the one hand that your stuff is worth more money. It sucks on the other hand because you can't buy as much shit. Let me know what you think. Hit me up on Instagram at Petaparty, and hope you had a good one.